I've always said Yu-Gi-Oh is an easy game to learn until it's. The core mechanics of the game are very easy to understand, but it's whenever you get into combos that things get a little confusing. But there are still some basics that people don't learn, hence why I made this series. So today we're going to go over fusion summoning. If you don't know what fusion summons are, it's these neat little purple guys that you probably had a lot of as a kid but didn't have any idea how to get them out. You probably also put them in the main deck rather than the used to be called fusion deck, now called extra deck. Fusion monsters are essentially taking 2 or more monsters, depending what's listed on the card, and you're sending them from field to grave or from hand to grave, depending on the mechanic of fusion summoning, in order to get them from the extra deck over to the field. Now, most fusion monsters, like this one, will have any number of specifically listed cards. In this case, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, you need 2 Thunder Dragons. Now, some fusion monsters just need generic material, such as Starving Venom Fusion Dragon here. It just needs 2 dark monsters that are not tokens. But how do you get these guys out? Well, usually the main way is that you use what's called a fusion spell. Now, fusion spells are spells that essentially do what the name suggests. They fuse a monster. However, fusion spells are not a specific category of spells, such as ritual spell, quick play spell, field spell, that kind of thing. Typically, fusion spells nowadays will have the word fusion in their name, whereas cards that say search a fusion spell is a spell card that has fusion in the name, and most of them, when they search a fusion spell, they also say or polymerization. Now, the other way is a method called contact fusing. Contact fusing is not something you can do with just any card. Essentially, what contact fusing does is take what a lot of people thought happened when we were kids, and just you send the material from field to grave in order to get the monster out, and you're fusing them together. For example here, Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. It requires 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons to summon, or you send the material listed above from field to grave. Again, if you're able to contact fuse a specific fusion monster, it will say, or you can send XYZ card from field to grave. Now, another note to keep in mind with extra deck monsters in general, not just fusion monsters, is that if they are on the field and you cheated them out, because there are ways to cheat them out that don't include fusion summoning itself, you cannot special summon them from the grave if they ever go there. In order to revive a extra deck monster from the grave, you must be able to have traditionally summoned it or summoned it with its own effect first. And fusion monsters, in my opinion, one of the most versatile monsters because there are a plethora of different types of fusion spells, including ones that are able to use monsters on both your and your opponent's side of the field, and in this case, you cannot respond to this card. Or, in some specific instances with archetypes, cards that allow you to fusion summon from the deck.